Hi, this is Cassio, and you're watching Purebred Reds Adelaide United Fan TV.
This is Adelaide United Fan TV. I'm here with Ali after a pretty grim result against Melbourne City this evening. Ali, you're from Scotland, avid viewer of the Scottish Premier League, which has some high quality clubs, and you know, when you consider the old firm derbies and stuff like that, I'm sure you'd think that being in Australia today, this is a fairly grim game of football.
It wasn't the best game of football I've ever seen in my life, but Adelaide United made so many chances, and they were unfortunate that the former goalkeeper made an absolutely fantastic save in the second half.
For someone that doesn't watch this team regularly, was the performance a clear indication of the fact that we're missing a clear number 9 up front for you today?
I think they're looking more for quality midfield player, someone that can push the ball forward and pick out some good forward passes. I don't think the forward line today got the service that they needed.
Can you compare for us what the sort of mid-table Scottish teams are like compared to what the general standard of the A-League is like, from what you've been able to view so far being in the country?
Well, like I say, this is the 4th time I've been over in Australia, and I've always came to watch Adelaide United, and I'd say the team they've got this year is probably comparable with mid-table Scottish Premiership League.
And just finally, you may not be sticking around towards the end of the season, but do you have any hope that Adelaide United might be able to finish strong this season and maybe do something in the playoff series? Or from the evidence that you've seen today, is it pretty clear that the best we can hope for is sort of to scrape in the playoffs and not do much from there on?
No, I think Adelaide United can play a lot better than they did tonight. And for my grandsons, who are both avid supporters of Adelaide United, Cooper and Fraser, I hope for them that they can at least get to a playoff final.
Yeah, right. And do you want to just finish by telling us a bit about the club you support there? I can't quite see the logo.
The logo
Aberdeen.
is Aberdeen FC, and the 2 stars above the logo means that Aberdeen have won 2 European trophies, and they are the only team in Scotland that have won 2 European trophies.
And of course, the club that produced Sir Alex Ferguson.
Of course, the best manager that's ever been worldwide, no doubt about that.
Well, Ali, I hope you enjoy the rest of your time in Australia. Thanks a lot for speaking to us.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Here with Taylor after a very, very, very disappointing evening at Cooper Stadium, where Adelaide United have lost 2-0 to Melbourne City. Taylor, I want to start by asking you today, a lot of Adelaide United fans really appreciate having Jordan Elsey in the team. He's a fan favourite. 2 massive brain farts today, which ultimately led to the 2 goals being scored from Melbourne City's end. Is Jordan Elsey really as good as we kind of hype him up to be, or has he got a lot to learn? He's pretty mistake prone, and people sort of tend to think he has a ceiling to maybe get to Europe one day. Based on today's performance, I don't think that's anytime soon. What's your opinion on that?
He's still a young guy, he's got a lot to learn, but yeah, as you say, he's made heaps of mistakes the last 2 or 3 weeks, but yeah, give him time. And he's got Jackerson there beside him, he might come good. Yeah, I think he'll be alright.
Yeah, in terms of chance creation today, there were certainly some moments, but obviously it's pretty clear that we're lacking quality up forward. Do there have to be questions asked about Ken Ilso? He's obviously a foreign number 10 and was a bit of a traffic cone today for my liking. What do you make of him so far, and is it really a case of the fact that we have to do some business in January, or else we're not going to achieve the heights that we have the potential to this season?
If we don't do anything in January, then we're stuffed. But he's there, he's trying, but he's not getting the service. Unless he's getting service, nothing's going to happen. Yeah. So, yeah, give us a couple of guys up front. We've got 2 strikers out. We haven't replaced anyone. It's time to put our money where our mouths are and do it. Give the supporters something.
Yeah, Marco Kurz went for something a little bit different tonight, picking Nikola Miljuznic. in that wide position. He had a pretty terrible game, couldn't finish the alphabet, and got dragged at half time. Is this a harsh lesson for him? Do you see Marco Kurz right now? You know, he seems like he's not taking anything for granted, and it feels a lot like there's pressure on players at the moment. You know, like I said, if there are no moves made in January, you know, is this going to be a really disappointing end to the season, or do you still think you know, players like Nikola Miljuznic, he can get something out of them towards the end of the year?
After what I saw from Nikola tonight, man, he was lucky it lasted half time.
Yeah.
Honestly, he should have been going halfway through that. His ball control, he's got the ball control tonight, and some of his decision making was just woeful.
Yeah.
But yes, we've got to find someone. If we don't find any, and I don't think it's Cruz's fault, he's got the cattle there. He can only do what he's got with what he's got.
Yeah.
So we haven't got the depth that we think we have. Until we get a bit more depth, then hey, who knows?
Moving into the next game, would you change anything drastically? Would you experiment with the two centre halves, given that Taylor Regan's available again? Jordan Elsey had a bad day today. He hasn't been dropped at all so far this season. Would you consider it maybe a wise thing to change the centre back pairing up, or is there any other area in the pitch where you'd make a change?
Nah, centre backs, it is what it is, and they're doing all right. It'd be nice to see Taylor Regan in, but I don't know if he can knock those two boys out at the moment. They're not doing that bad a job. So changes with what we've got. I don't know. Stepanoglu's, give him a bit more time on the pitch. 10 minutes, he's not getting a chance to show what he's got. Give him a try up front. Can't lose anything right now. So maybe drop Ken Izzo and give the young fella a go.
Last question. My cameraman actually made the suggestion throughout the second half. Nathan Konstantopoulos. Do we need to see a bit more of him? He got 5 minutes today in a midfield where you've essentially got two number sixes with Isaias and Vince Leah. Is it really something we're missing to have some young blood that comes in, someone that's really energetic like a Nathan Konstantopoulos, or would you stick with Vince Leah, the experience and the way he's got that set up at the moment?
I think our midfield's working well. That's good, but we're not getting enough service out to Goodwin and the wings. The boys not getting the service, so unless we can start giving them some service. Look what happened at the beginning of the year. But now there's nothing from Goody. He's just not getting service from the midfield. So yeah, it would be good to see one of the young fellas in, but coach will make the decisions, and we'll go with it.
No worries, Taylor, thanks for speaking to us.
No worries, thanks.
Cheers.
See ya.
Here with Shane, a Melbourne City fan, after a very disappointing day, not for him, but for the rest of us at Cooper Stadium, losing 2-0 to Melbourne City. Shane, I've got a lot of things to ask you. First of all, you guys haven't been in the best of form so far this season. Lots of question marks over Warren Joyce, the style of football you're playing, the lack of Bruno Fornaroli. You've come here to Cooper Stadium today to a team that's won their FA Cup this season, hasn't been travelling too bad, and you've managed to win 2-0 quite comfortably and really shut out most of our attacking situations today. You must be brimming with a bit of hope leaving Adelaide.
It's very exciting. Look, we're looking forward to next week now, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
But yeah, just coming over here, what a great stadium this is over here in Adelaide, where it's lovely. But the own goal, I mean, we got that, that's great. But the second one just sort of sealed it, and there was a great atmosphere in the away supporters. The local supporters weren't happy, but it was we've had a lot of fun over here. It's been great. We'll come back, definitely looking forward to next year, hopefully coming back. So,
Great stuff. Well, it's great to hear that you enjoyed the experience of Cooper Stadium. I want to ask you now, you're going into a Melbourne derby next week, I believe.
Yes.
Is this going to really make Melbourne Victory a little bit more conscious of the fact that you can come away with a bit of a snatch and grab, given that performances as of late haven't been great for you, and the fact that they've been in fantastic form themselves? Is this now going to spice the derby up a lot more than what might have been the case if you lost tonight?
I hope it does. I hope a lot of fans come out to watch. Melbourne City fans have got a lot to offer here. You know, Warren Joyce, we've been nervous about him, but he's two from 4 now without Bruno. So, but yeah, for Victory fans, you should be worried because we're a good team. We beat you last time. I reckon we'll beat you again this time too. So.
Yeah, right. And what about the fact that we've just seen Western Melbourne get a expansion licence approval for next season? You guys, as well as you may track with results here and there, crowds are a bit of a concern, and you've now got a third Melbourne team to contend with over there. Great news for us fans here. It's another potentially 2 trips to Melbourne every year, obviously, but from your perspective as a City fan, where it's hard to get crowds for games that aren't derbies, do you look at this as an exciting phase for the A-League, or are you a bit more worried from the perspective of your own team?
I'm from Gippsland, so we were Team 11 fans, so we were disappointed from that point of view because it's good for our young kids to have somewhere to go. So it's great for the western suburbs of Melbourne. They don't have any team in any sport, so for them it's exciting. For Melbourne City fans, I imagine, and Victory fans, and may even rob a few fans as well. But yeah, it's good for the sport to have the extra teams, and I think that's good. Yeah, as you said, for you guys, 2 extra games to come over, it's not a long trip. So yeah, I think it's good for the sport. Rob a few fans from different clubs, but everyone will be pretty excited, I reckon, especially those western suburbs boys and girls. So yeah,
absolutely. And I just want to get your thoughts finally on where Melbourne City will finish and where Adelaide United, for that matter, will finish this season.
I think we're both top 6 teams, and yeah, I'm hoping for top 3. We want to go to the the Asian Champions League. That's always been the goal. So
that's a real golden nugget for Melbourne City, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. We were so disappointed, I think, last year to miss out. So this year we're in the chance. I mean, I think we're up to 4th or 3rd now. So we're excited about that. And yeah, next week roll Victory, and it'll be a good season. I think if we can do that 2 in a row when we beat them, that would be good. So.
And I don't want to take the piss too much, but just lastly, you've taken a lot of our players over the last few years. Well, I mean, whether it's them leaving or you guys getting in there with 6 months left on their deals to try and poach them, as well as our former CEO, mind you, is this trend going to stop eventually, or are you happy to just be the second Adelaide United in the league?
Oh, well played, well played. I think we're happy to be the second Adelaide United. Yeah. Now, look, I mean, we were just saying we were trying to get photos of Michael Jakobsen, but because he played for us last year, so I'm not sure what you're talking about there. But yeah, it seems that in the A-League players don't have long careers necessarily with the one club, so it's disappointing. Yeah, we'll miss Bruno.
No worries. Well, I'm glad to hear that you've enjoyed your time in Adelaide, and maybe we'll see you down in Melbourne for the return game this season.
That'd be good.
No worries. Thanks for speaking to us.
Thanks very much. Cheers. Thank you. Thanks a lot.